Hi, it's Frazer Chesterman, FuturePrint TV. I'm very pleased to be in the Agfa demo room in Mortsel, near Antwerp. And we're here recording a set of episodes around Agfa's Inkjet story. Episode 1 will be focusing on system design. Episode 2 will be on applications. Episode 3 will be on water-based inks. And the final episode will look at UV inks. They're all about this spot-on story that Agfa are focusing on in the next few months, and we hope you enjoy them. Hi, it's Frazer Chesterman, and here I am at Agfa in Mortsel. Very pleased to be recording 4 episodes. You'll see more about Agfa and their knowledge and experience in the inkjet sector. And the first episode, I'm with Jeti Jancart. Dieter, hi.
Hi, nice to meet you, Fraser.
Dieter, tell us a bit about your role at Agfa.
Well, I'm in fact responsible for the product management of our high-end systems, which are the Jeti Tauros and the Onsets and the Condor.
So the first question I would ask is, how does Agfa position itself in inkjet?
Well, one of the strong points of Agfa is the fact that we develop or control all the parameters which are involved in inkjet technology. We have 25 years of experience in building inkjet equipment, as well ink development, software workflow, and add to that our global service organization worldwide. I think we have a very nice approach in the full system approach, which partners up with our customers. And it gives them the opportunity to, as well, if something goes wrong, to only contact one person.
Sure. And I guess you talk about the full system approach, which is interesting. Does that reflect how you develop your inkjet approach in terms of design?
Yes, absolutely, because whenever we start with developing a printer or an ink, we always take a look at the full picture. Because it's all linked to each other, meaning if you start developing a new ink, for instance, the requirements of that ink will be determined on the printheads that you're using, but as well, how are you using those printheads? Meaning the velocity of your shuttle, the frequency of the printhead that you're going to steer it, as well. That's why we spent a lot of time, for instance, in investigating those printheads, in looking at waveforms of those printheads. So we have the perfect drop placement with that certain ink in that certain system on a certain media. And that always pays off for a customer because it reduces mist of the ink turbulence underneath the shuttle to a minimum, and that, well, results in better maintenance, more uptime and things like that.
Yeah, and I guess that's a reliability, efficiency story, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
So in terms of that, is that key for customers? Is that one of the things that you sense at Agfa when you want to respond to customers' needs, that reliability, efficiencies, they're the important elements?
I think yes, because for every print shop, uptime is important, as well, low idle time.
Sure.
And we get a lot of feedback from for instance, our Tauro customers, which are very happy in starting up in the morning, just do a quick purge, manual sweep, and after a few minutes they're up and running and keep producing all day through.
Sure.
And that reflects again in money for the customer.
Sure. And then within that, is there a sense that software element's important?
Well, software is one of those topics which certainly if you do an investment of €500,000 or more, you often lose track of, which is a pity, because software is also one of those important elements which can contribute to, first of all, image quality, your color gamut, but also ink consumption. It's one of the lessons that we saw or that we learned with the Onset series. When we start transforming our first customers to the Agfa ink, they already witnessed the ink saving, but then some of them also jumped to our Asante workflow. And suddenly they also saw, by just using different software, they reduced their ink consumption further with almost 10%.
Yeah. So as we said, efficiency, reliability.
Yes.
I always think that the word automation is bandied around a lot. Is that important in terms of the integration of your systems into a factory environment?
I think last couple of years it's becoming more and more important. Yeah. Printers are becoming faster. So automation is, I think, the natural next step. And it's something which sounds easy to do. You put something in front of it and in the back of it and let it work together. But again, it's coming back to that full solution approach, because all these elements are linked to each other. If you look at automation, For instance, your input-output needs to communicate with the printer. So the communication is important, but it also needs to be controlled and supported by the software, because if you want to do 1-up, 2-up, 3-up, your software also needs to support that. As well, printing speeds. Those automations need to keep up with. Sometimes the printer is no longer the bottleneck. It's that automation. If we look at our Tauro, when we stepped up to the UHS platform, we even had to adapt our loader system and add a second gantry to keep up feeding the engine to get to those speeds of 700 square meters and more. And then, well, ink, we already touched the topic on ink, but ink is also important because the automation will have touch points with your printed image. So if your ink is not designed to work with automation, you will see transport marks in your prints. And last but not least, of course, your operator. Because automation is doing all the work, but it still needs to be operator friendly. Loading, unloading of material, it needs to be easy accessible and easy to set up. So again, all these elements combining together, it needs to be spot on. It needs to work together in a very good way.
Yeah, and that's a really good explanation of the way that you see complete system design as crucial to the Agfa offering.
Yes, absolutely.
Dieter, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure, Frazer.